And we're live on the internet. Hello. I'm Joe. And he's James. And this is Productivity and Procrastination. We're just a couple.
30.
Episode 30. We're just a couple of procrastinators looking to get productive. James,
Yeah.
what's the title of your week?
Sipping on a pina colada.
Nice. Mine is this again?
Well, it was a good pina colada. Not as icy as I would have liked it, but
That's the title of your entire week and you happen to be doing it right now?
happened. That's right.
Alright.
Done though.
Alright,
I gotta go
so
to coffee.
gotta go to coffee. How was your week?
It was okay.
Yeah?
On Wednesday, I started
Have-
my
Yeah, have it written down.
My
How did it
week.
go?
Well, I did start doing stuff, like cleaned off my desk and just started doing nice upkeep stuff, and I cleaned some things in my house, and then I moved out to my yard and started yard work, and then the day really got really crappy outside, and I couldn't burn anything, and I couldn't do anything, and I didn't want to do anything. Well, then I came in. I think I started playing a game. And my wife got home from work and said, "Hey, start our anniversary a day early." So I said, "Okay." So that was my Wednesday. What was I going to do? Say no?
Yeah.
What? That's kind of one thing where I really couldn't really put my foot down in any way. I had to say yes. So we just played games and got Costa Vida.
Ooh, I had Costa Vida this weekend.
Oh yeah. What do you
I
get?
live across the street from it.
That would be a death sentence for my checkbook. Family loves Costa Vida.
It's tasty.
Yeah. I had their burrito. I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the salads, so I'm getting a salad next time again.
Nice.
What did you have, Joe?
I had nachos.
Oh,
I felt like it was a nacho day. It was Saturday after work and I was just done. And so I had nachos because I needed something fun, more fun than just eating a burrito. I needed something more.
oh yeah, rub it in again. Thanks.
Well, typically I
Get
get a burrito. That's the reason why.
Is there queso
Yeah.
on those nachos? Oh, their queso's so good.
Mm-hmm.
We got robbed for queso though. My wife ordered the really big one. They gave her the really small one. I was mad.
Scammed. You could ask for more, I'm sure.
Yeah, well. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, so but that was the thing though. Even though I was working on stuff, it was like artificial drive. It was like me like just telling myself, yeah, okay, I'm gonna work on stuff. But it wasn't real. And that led me into the state where I got fed up with like playing stuff solo, and I'm allowing myself to get into a state of like, it's almost like you need to allow yourself to get into like a depression almost in order to, change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I'm allowing to happen. I'm trying to find that. I'm seeking that, and
So,
trying to get some change
for the
in my
sake of the
mind.
viewers, could you
Uh,
explain what you mean by getting into like a state of depression in order to change? Bless
well,
you.
bunch of when I typically move, and make big changes or whatever, it's usually at a point where you are fed up with some part of your life, and you're actively trying to figure it out. So, in order to get to a point where I can really feel like I want to move on something, I need for me to not love my life so much right now. um, so that's kind of it. I mean, it's like I have no real reason to like do anything. Like, so I need to find all the things that I dislike and turn them into hate so that I can be depressed a little bit and like want to figure out what I want to do to change my my scenario a little bit. So I'm kind of artificially spurring getting myself to the point where I'm really trying to find the solutions that I need to start moving on some of this stuff. So I want when okay, it's like the feeling is like a drive, that hunger we talked about last week. It's actively starving myself to get to a point where I crave the completion, and right now I don't, and I'm satiated with all these other things, and so I'm trying to find ways to not enjoy them so much, and so I'm gonna kind of cut off some solo gaming and all that, and allow myself to just solve problems and just be, alone in my life, and then I'm just kind of postulating that I'll get to the point where I find what I need to find to do what I need to do. So that's kind of what I've been thinking this week. Yeah, basically.
Nice. Okay. And so yeah, you're just trying to like avoid things you enjoy and try to make a hole in your life that you can fill with what you're trying to get better at or what you're trying to work on.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll have some extra time that it'll all just fall into place, and because I need the need.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. There's a lot of fun things in life, and I'm enjoying all of them right now. So I need some kind of adversary to help me along a little bit, and I think I'll get there. I mean, I won't allow myself to not get there. I just need
You can figure out how to get there.
I need it to not be fake. I need it to be real. And I could tell just on my day off when I just started. I'm like, yes, I'm not in it. I'm just doing it. There's a difference
Mm-hmm.
when I'm in it versus my get up alarm. Yeah, up a little early today. So I don't know. I mean, it's for you. You kind of just want to maybe find a little flow that works in your in between moments and all that. And for me, I want that draw that that is just so powerful that I just have to do it. Like I want that. So so I'm gonna let that figure that out. Let that happen. Take some time off of things I enjoy and just find that.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe?
I had a very good week up to a point. So my brother's been living with me, and so like I've been spending my time just like kind of just out there hanging out with him. But I always bring my sketchbook and a pencil and my eraser, and we're just watching anime, but he watches it in dub where it's like they speak English. And so like I just end up drawing the whole time, and it's been very, very satisfying. I mean, so much drawing. And I just curl up. I've been like really enjoying just curling up and drawing on the couch. I don't know, it's something peaceful about it. And then I've been like going through the tutorials on like how to draw better and learning these little tips and tricks. And it was like there was this like insane amount of drive this week, to the point where I wrote down this because I wanted to talk about it. And it kind of, I think, touches on what you were saying, where it's like this fake version. As it says, basically, are you even trying your best? Which to me, and then specifically to learn and grow. Like, are you like really pushing yourself, getting outside of your comfort zone? Are you? Because I think that's, because if you really want to be good at what you're doing, you can phone it in and you'll slowly improve. But if you really feel that drive and you feel that want, you're going to be trying hard. And man, I don't know, it's like I just been ramping up and up and up these last few weeks, and it's just been really nice. It feels good. It feels good to have this level of excitement for it. Now, something did happen which I'm upset about. My hand is acting up again. So I need to figure that out. And that's what I'll be working on.
Same exact spot.
Yes, kind of. It's not as severe.
Which means it might not have fully healed.
Probably. or it's still healing.
Yeah. Potentially.
They went for a while for it not hurting, but again, it's. I need to probably just give it some more time. But yeah, it's been a good week. I've learned a lot. I've made some choices. Like I never want to do like just a standing pose anymore. I want to do like action poses and that type of stuff. Mostly so that way I can get more practice with them, and also they're just more fun to look at than standing poses. So I've been having a lot of fun.
Never might be the wrong word to say, but
Yeah.
you know, I see what you mean.
Yeah. And I'm trying a different technique where I kind of do like a really loose sketch and then go back through with a creative mind where like if this line looks out of place, like, but I really like how it flows, like what can I put there that's going to work with the character, but and also keep that flow.
Creative substitution kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Just like if it works, it works. And like accessories and weird belts and all sorts of stuff. So I've been feeling growth, and it's exciting.
Nice. And any thoughts of monetization of any of these things, or is that
Not
still
yet.
off the plate?
If I can, start making some decent illustrations, then I'll just sell those as either prints or whatever. Just like take what I make and then figure out how to market it. Take what I make and market it. But right now, my goal isn't, I'm going to make something marketable. It's, I'm going to make something fun. Something cool.
Now, is your brother actually living with you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a temporary or permanent?
Yeah, until early September.
Oh, okay. I see. Is he moving after that, or like
he's moving
out of the state again, or
no? He got his job back at his job
okay?
Because he moved for a job, but then he didn't like the job, so he moved back and got his old job back, and he started back today. So
okay, cool. Well then, that'll be interesting having him back in the area. Cool.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's been a good week, other than the weird hand stuff. But I'm excited. I feel like I'm growing. I feel like I can actually I see the path from my artistic skill to where I want to be. Like I see the process. And that to me, having a clear road ahead really feels, it's giving me a drive more than I already had. But in order to get there, I had to have the drive to find it. So, I don't know. I'm really liking it. So, and then going back to trying your best, I do want to specify with that, because there is a level of ambiguity when you say trying your best. And I don't mean by trying your best, I mean like spending every minute of every day. That sounds daunting. What I mean is like how much effort are you actually putting forth in growing and improving? Like, are you phoning it in? Are you just kind of like doodling here and there? Which, again, that's not me criticizing those things. It's just like I don't think it's a bad thing to not be fully committed all the time. I think there's been a shift in my priority, in my drive this last week, last 2 weeks, that only can be defined, or it can only be from previous weeks. Like, they're all building on top of each other, kind of like a snowball effect. So, like, sure, maybe you're just doodling every so often for a while, and then maybe you're like, I want to try some, watercolors, and I want to do this, I want to do that. And, you're growing, you're trying out new things, and you're letting that excitement, that imagination carry you. And then all of a sudden, you're wrist deep in YouTube tutorials and trying them out, because I think there is a trap with tutorials and then not doing anything from them. So to make sure that you actually jot down the information, take notes, do the drawings to help actually solidify that information.
Yeah, there's definitely a tutorial spiral of doom that you can get into.
Yep, agreed. But yeah, it's important when I say best that I think in the moment I was very excited about where I am, and I was like, wow, this feels way different than what I've used to doing. So what's the difference? And it's not trying your best, because I mean, that's so ambiguous. It's about how much are you looking to improve? Like, where in the journey are you to this like peak state of like hunger and drive to do it? And I don't think that can come from, I think it comes from like exploration and fun and like this making it a part of your life, making it a fun habit, as versus like trying to, I don't think you can force drive. And I think, James, like with your like starving yourself, I think you're setting yourself up for having, like, if you don't have anything to do, your writing is going to be a lot more fun than nothing. So you're going to get to that point too.
Yeah. That's kind of the idea. It's like I'm just filling my day with so much fun stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no window.
Yeah.
I have no ability to find any time. So I need to say no to some of it. And I'm going to say no to the without people aspect.
Right.
With people, I'll say yes to.
Yeah.
But that should free up a decent amount of time for me to at least figure out what's going on and allow myself to get to the point where I'm wanting it again. So, and the key is, though, I'm not trying to just want it again and go back out of a cycle. I'm trying to gear up to then just launch in, and stay there. So it needs to be real.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously real. So, I mean, my path was, okay, I'm diving in. I'm making it everything. And then, okay, now I need, like, info. Okay, and then it was like, forget it. I got bored. And so boredom is a failure. I need to make sure that's countered.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has to be exciting to me. It has to be something that's going to um, be a challenge and be fun, and all these little factors, and something sustainable. Um, all of those things together, I need to find the way I want to do it, and then once I do, we'll see what happens. I I'm trying to make it so that this is the solution for me. It's not just a once I start, it's a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's not going to be a
Marathon.
marathon. It's going to be a sprint. Um, so, and I know that's doesn't make sense with like longevity of my life. I mean, you think marathon would be the more, you know, but I don't care. With me, there's got to be a certain level of difficulty, otherwise, I will get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to keep it in a certain space.
So, because we asked the hard questions, I do have to ask some. At least one specifically, two specifically. So you didn't get a chance to do any writing this week.
Well, it was a plan I had. Just kind of start off in my yard and start getting it to
Building
the
up.
point where I'm thinking about the writing process while I'm out there working. And the day just sucked so bad out there that I came inside. I couldn't really begin what I wanted to do. So I was really annoyed.
Mm.
And then my wife came home and that
Mm.
ended anyway.
Okay.
So it's like, in lieu of just taking a nice big walk, which I generally tend to do in these situations, I decided to just work out in my yard and think about things and start, you know, chunking on that. It just didn't go to plan. The weather wasn't conducive to my situation, and apparently that was okay because that day was not the day that it was going to be anniversary preseason anyway. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Next question. With your new strategy of cutting out like solo game playing, do you think that's going to give you time throughout the week to work on stuff, or are you going to keep trying to make it just one of your days off?
Right now, I'm just trying to find the solution in my head about. I'm not trying to define any time periods. I'm trying to find the mood. And once I get that, the mood will dictate the times. I'm not going to define the times and then artificially create the pattern. No. I need to want to do it. And once I get that, it's going to go as crazy as it can, I guess. If I continue to not play solo games and I continue to just I need it all to work. I need to hate certain aspects of my life. I need to, you know, collectively decide what I'm going for here and come up with a plan and let that be organic. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Sure, will probably be a little too much, maybe, but I'm going to try. to actually just listen to myself. And let the whys and the goals and all those things just simmer together.
Okay. Nice. All right. Is there anything you want to chat about before we close it out here?
Getting some RAM upgrade in my computer soon.
Oh, that'll be nice.
I'm also getting a RAID storage drive for my network here so that everybody can have a partition, a big drive that's going to be mirrored. And so it'll be kind of nice to have some real storage, and me going from 8 gigs to like 32.
Oh,
it's
jeez.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice. So see how that goes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so gonna have some nice computer upgrade, which I needed a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and so fun stuff coming up for that.
Heck yeah,
Other
dude.
than that, nah, just life happening, and you got anything to say?
No, I just well, I guess I do. I would say that it's important to consider how far along you are as far as your level of production. At least if you're ending up trying the schmo route of more of a free form, make it part of your life, exploration type process. I do think there is a point where it comes to a head and you get this level of like production that and growth that I'm seeing and I'm really enjoying. And just know it's there if you keep plugging at it. Just make it part of your life.
Well, I mean, when I think of the way you're doing it, it's like it's always kind of like kind of a calm process, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think of a high energy scenario when I think of your process, and I'm more of somebody who's seeking the energy level that I'm
Like
talking about
Frankenstein
is
energy.
like Frankenstein energy. Yeah. And so like when I want to turn it on, I think it's like, okay, it's going to be like voracious. And so that's what I'm seeking. I'm not seeking comfort. I'm not seeking it to flow in my life.
I'm telling
I
you,
want it
I'm
to
pretty
take over.
voracious right now. I might be more of a
You can
calm
use whatever.
person,
Yeah, well,
but
maybe.
it's a hunger in me.
But I you know, I think it's a little different in my mind. But
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
Probably is.
yeah, I mean, people seem to get stopped, you know, like I don't know. When I'm in a mode, I people get bored before I do. So I want to be in the mode of that where it's like everybody wants to go do something else for a while, whereas I'm just continuing because with me it's like it is an on and off switch, and but what I want to do is I would just want to turn it on where it's just my life, you know, and that's what I got to live for, um, more than at least until my first goal's done. Then hey,
Yeah.
maybe after that, who knows? Um, but I don't know. I don't know if the drive you're talking about is the same drive I'm talking about, but
How would you
maybe I could
define
be
it?
wrong. Everything you do. It's nothing else.
Yeah, that's not that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
That sounds exhausting.
it's fun though.
Um, no, it's an so what it is for me is like it's a lot of it's a lot of analyzation. It's a lot of like seeking out knowledge. It's applying that knowledge. This drive to improve. This drive to get better. This joy at seeing results. It's a lot of more of those types of things.
Great things. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. And then there's a with the route I'm doing, I think there's a level of consistency, and it is more of a long term thing because of the way it's set up, where it's more based on joy and inspiration and those types of things, where it doesn't feel like a chore. It feels more like a just part of your life that you enjoy. Is it going to be as fun as going to an escape room with your friends? Absolutely not. But it's a warm, comfy part of your life that you get to use to throughout your days, and you'll get better, and then you can look back and like, look, that piece, I really like it. Let's monetize that. You're making pieces that you want to make. You're writing books you want to write. You know, these types of things. And you're turning around and monetizing those.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
When that
goal
happens,
is to
it'd be great.
create. Yeah, exactly. Again, this is me trying out a weird method of productivity that is so far working, but again, we're trying things out, and we're learning, and we're trying to grow and figure out what works for us. Like, because what works for me may not work for James. What works for James and I may not work for you. So it's important to try things out with us or on your own or some new ideas. And if you have ideas, let us know in the comments, because we're up for trying stuff. Because it's about longevity and making sure we get to our goals.
So like even with my side business, it's like every now and then I just get, you know, fed up and I need to do, like a session. And so I'll just boom, dive in and go do that and have my own. Um and I always want to be somebody who can just a little bit, next day I'll just make a pattern that's great and never seems to go right for me. So it's like I almost need like those days, just boom, knock out an entire thing all day, get it done, and then, you know, um, but it would be nice if I could get those two to work together. So be like all the drive is there, and the relentless aspect too. That's kind of what I'm shooting for this time is enough drive to make it fun and exciting for me and enough longevity where I can mold it with my life, that I can kind of turn on the afterburners, more at my command, less on that magic formula that
So elusive
appears
magical
so.
formula. Yeah.
Yes, it's so elusive. Yes. So yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do. Figure it out right now, and then once I have it, I don't want to let go of it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Is not let go of it.
Yeah.
It's hard though when things are going good. You almost need like a rock bottom so that you can like
change your.
oh, I hate this. It's like, oh well, when you're loving it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's play some games about pina coladas. Everything's great. Harder.
Yeah, it is. So, like, we wrote our goals down for a while and used those as kind of like our measuring stick of whether we succeeded during the week or not. Do you think we should look back into doing those, or what are your thoughts on that?
Once I have a goal beyond, once I find my drive, sure. But right now, I almost think it's just interfering. I need to let this process take me where it takes. Maybe it'll be this week and I'll be fine. But I'm just started stopping things. So now I need my mind to start thinking, but if I just go, oh, well, this is the goal this week, and I'm not letting that take its course. I need to let myself get to that low, so to speak. I need to decide who I want to become here. And then yeah, sure, I'll have a goal then.
I just thought my question was just like, what are your thoughts on writing down your goals, and as far as a fail state for the week, to kind of help you get to that rock bottom?
Well, what I think would be a fail state for me would be how many times do I give in to just playing a solo game? So I'm not letting myself work on things in my mind. I need time away from consuming. I need to let my brain have a time when I'm not working, I'm not at work, and I'm not playing, my brain just needs to be. And in that, I am working in my mind. So I would say the fail is I need to write down either how many times or how many hours or whatever that I break that rule for myself. If I could get through the week and not play a game, something's right this week. I can't say for sure whether the answer will have been attained or not, but I'll definitely be still working in my mind, because I just need I need time to observe.
Yeah.
Myself.
And my question isn't what is your goal this week? My question is, do you think writing down a goal would help?
Well, that's the next goal. It's to find the answer to the drive, and to figure out how I want to approach the attack, and how I can consistently, once started, maintain it and allow for time for it. I started to like the Wednesday off thing for me. And there's already been people who've been trying to take that day from me. And it's like, and I've been wishy-washy on it. And so in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm going to say no again. I'm going to fight for that day. And so it's going to work. Eventually I'm going to figure, I think eventually there's going to be a serious Wednesday work day for me. And in the morning time, even people don't get up as early as I do. Most of the time. I don't know if I'll be rested enough, but anyway, I'm going to go to a sleep study for that. So who knows? Maybe I'll just be really energized in ways I've never been in a while.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, that's my negative is how many times do I play games alone this week? And how many, because what I'm trying to be is present and in the moment and observing and allowing my mind to find the solution to getting all of these pieced together into attack mode. That's, I don't know, any other questions based on what I said?
No, I think you covered it pretty thoroughly. Yeah, it sounds like you're on track to really deprive yourself of the joy that you have been having to hopefully substitute some of that for your goals. Is there any, because I know we've talked about, it's been a while, but we talked about barrier to entry for a little bit. And for those who aren't familiar, basically like how long it takes you from going from a non-productive state to productive, like the actual time in seconds. Are there ways you could speed that up?
I don't even think it's a factor right now. I mean, usually when we're talking of barrier entry, we're talking about you have decided to work. Is there something that's stopping you from that and actually working? The in-between space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I haven't decided to work yet, so there's no barrier to entry seem coming into play. What I want is to be somebody who is consistently choosing to work in a ferocious manner. And then once that happens, I don't think barrier to entry will come into play either, because that mode negates barrier to entry. Like, all that you do is just go. Nothing. There is no wall that will stop you.
With that, and sorry to be picking on you, I
No.
I get clarification, and this is the show.
That's what we do, right?
With that drive, that hunger that you talk about, the all-consuming, are there concerns that that's unsustainable over the long term?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do right now, is find a way for it to be sustained. I know what it's like to do it. I know what it's like to turn it off. I know what it's like to be, all of that. Now, what I need to do in my mind is go, okay, I have a life. I like my life. How can these two parts of myself exist in the same household? Let's say your brother was one of them, and it's like you're living with two individuals that are. One is I'm very much like you, very in the moment, very. I like to just enjoy my day and have it all weave together and flow into it. Enjoy my pina colada, enjoy my coffee, sit here and just, But there's a part of me that is a go mode kind of guy. So how can I be this, family man that, lives here, but at the same time have enough control and uncontrol to attack a goal until it's done. And so, but for the long term, like how I don't just need to convince myself, I need to convince my family. So I need to have real set barriers, real set, walls that can't be penetrated at specific times. And then they need to be such solid walls that they're not even going to want to try to break them after a while. Like in the beginning, when you have a baby elephant in a circus, you put these baby elephants with these chains on the foot, and you stake them in the ground with these humongous, crazy but spikes. So much that these baby elephants, they're just pulling and pulling for like so long that they just give up all hope. And then later on, when there are these huge beasts, you have this teeny tiny little spike that you just drive into the ground that they could just pull up in a second. But they have already learned that there is no hope to pull, and so they never try. I want my family to never try. Because I am so set on destroying my goals that there is no hope.
Really? Is that the
That is the analogy I chose. Yes.
That's sad.
No, it's not. It's funny. Now, obviously,
Right.
that's not going to be 100%
Yeah.
realistic. But I want it to be solid walls that that they respect.
And I think just
Is
that'll
basically it.
come with consistency. I think
Right.
that's
So I need to have consistency. I need to have the strength of character. I need to have the drive, and I need to have it in such a realistic manner with my life that my life can flow well around it. So I need to find the right balance of all those things and still have that energy that I require to make it not boring and not quit. So for me, that's the magic formula that I'm trying to figure out right now.
okay. Yeah, I like that. I think trying to figure out how to get there is because that's a lot to ask for, and so yeah, it's going to take some time to figure it out how to get yourself into that position. Um, you mentioned that and this might have just been you memeing, but you mentioned that your week was called Pina Colada. What's the reason for that?
I was sipping on a pina colada.
Okay.
No, I was just enjoying my week, anniversary week, chill
Yeah.
week, Um, I am enjoying my life. There are certain aspects, yard could be better and things like that. But generally speaking, there's no stress, and it's hard to muster drive when there's no negative forces to elicit change. So I'm trying to when things are going great, trying to formulate a way to change my life in a powerful, meaningful, long-term way. That plays on my strengths and takes into account my weaknesses. Because I chose to dive in a while back. That hasn't changed. It's just I want the perfection of it. So I need to really change. It can't just be doing it. It has to be who I am. And so I need it to do that. And
So,
that's what I'm working on.
question. And always have a billion apparently. With
Okay.
your idea is to become a writer. Like get that perfect side of yourself. Do you think that doing it will is there a case to be made for just doing it and it eventually will become part of your life?
I think it's possible for certain people to do that. I think each person is a unique, like jumbling of certain attributes and variables. And for me, I was always the kind of guy who skated by until there was a challenge. And then once somebody challenged me, it was, okay, well, I'll show you. I will destroy whatever you just said. I will beat you. Oh, make fun of my grade. Okay, I'll be the top. And I was. You know, that's the kind of guy. There was no excitement unless there was a challenge. So
Mm-hmm.
I need. Otherwise, I'll just skate by for the rest of my
Right.
damn life. I will just work my job, living an okay life, loving every minute of it. Most likely, because it doesn't take much apparently to keep me
Yeah.
happy. Um,
Now, go ahead.
but there is something more than that, that I know I could be. So I need to find the challenge and make it all work with my life. So there is no grand challenge until, so I have to make one for myself.
Okay. Other question. Now, I know in the past, um, you've asked yourself, do I just want to live a normal life? Do I just want to, like, work my 9 to 5, enjoy my life with my family, and that be it? We used to dismiss it as a like, that's a terrible idea, don't do it. Is this something you might consider?
I have I have no problem with that life, and if I did in the past, I don't anymore. I could just do this. That's and I've done it to a certain degree for a lot of years.
Do you think releasing this this part of your life would,
What is this part refer
the
to?
feeling like you have to keep pushing yourself and doing all these things that cause just a lot of negative feelings or a lot of stress, letting these go, do you think your life would just be that much better just living a normal life? Now, I mean, granted, we've talked about this in the past, but we've dismissed it as a, like, why would we do that? That's silly. But, I mean, realistically, like, there's a certain point where it's like life is more relaxing and you get to do, like, stuff with your family. You get to focus on that type of lifestyle. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. So it's
No,
like,
I mean, the other day I was like, man, I'm like, do I need to even do anything? It's like why do the podcast if I'm not gonna like choose to do something? Um, but you know, like I'm like, well, sooner or later I'm either gonna do something and then I'll have that change, or I won't, and who cares? Uh, but and the answer is yes. You could live life, and this could be just perfect. In a way, except that there's a possibility that there's the more fulfilling life. You know, I mean, there's is the crossroads, the great crossroads right now for me. It's like, okay, yeah, I am loving life. You know,
mm-hmm.
um, just waking up and playing games and living. my family is great. A lot of my worries are off the table. Worries that I thought, I'd have to like deal with later on. I don't have anymore. Like my wife's heart surgery. I don't need to worry about that anymore. So I could just dive in and enjoy life. Um,
What's stopping you?
um, well, take for instance, the solo gaming aspect. I enjoy playing games, but after so many hours, you wake up and you go, okay, well, there's really nobody that really is like getting much out of that. There's nobody who cares enough. There's nobody. You're not really adding much.
What do you mean by
Um,
that?
well, the difference, the substitution could be: what if I'm making books? What if I'm creating in such a way that I'm bettering my life? What if I could substitute that for something greater and better that is also augments my family, and their lives and all of it. What if there is a stronger life uh, by me creating, and that's one of the chief reasons to continue. Yeah, things are fun right now, but are they as satisfying as they could be? Um, and wouldn't I want to make the best life that I could for myself? I should. I should want that.
And I mean, the best, and this is me playing devil's advocate. The best life for yourself may also be not worrying about this anymore and just focusing on family and like joy.
Yeah, to just it could be. Um, and that's kind of like what I've been doing last few weeks. And yet still I've made the decision to stop solo game playing so that I can introduce that back in. So there's some part of that I won't let go of.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I won't let go of it, then I need to embrace it. The only way I can embrace it is if it becomes more a part of my life and not just something that is just another thing, because there are a lot of just another things that are very fun that I can do right now in instant.
Mm-hmm.
But in order for that to take a place, it needs to be something that I have made into more, uh, or I won't do it.
All right. But yeah, if you're at home and you're wondering like if it's too challenging, or if it's not making, like, you don't feel like your life is getting better, like you're, you know, Because in order to achieve these goals, in order to get where you want to get, you have to sacrifice. And it shouldn't be like, granted, there's this like level of cultural appreciation for sacrifice, when what I mean is looking at it like, what are you going to have to give up? What important thing are you going to have to give up? Like, so it's not just like, oh, you have to sacrifice, because sacrifice is a faceless cost. When sacrifice could mean, oh, I have to sacrifice exercising every day, or I have to sacrifice taking the time to eat well, or I have to sacrifice time with my family. Sacrifice, these are real these are the sacrifices I'm talking about. So it's like, what are you wanting to give up? And this isn't a direct question to James. This is just to you, the audience. Like, what are you going to have to give up? And so it's important to ask yourself these questions when you're pushing for these goals, because if you're happy with your life and you generally enjoy it, there is something to be said about like just enjoying your life. Why not spend the time that you're trying to do writing, and while you're spending this time to do drawing, while you're spending this time to do these tasks, when you could be spending them with family, friends, self-improvement in some other ways, like go learn a language. There's lots of different ways to improve yourself that aren't this one specific thing. And just don't get lost in it.
And timing. I mean, I constantly think to myself, I could be working on like my book right now, or I can put all that time into my business and I know I'm going to get financial results from it in, constantly.
Yeah.
Passive income. Yep. So it's like, part of me is like, well, hit that hard and then maybe you don't even have to work full time anymore. Right. If I worked on that, and so there's like, well, does that mean that it's better for me to work on that right now for like, let's say 6 months of my life, and then maybe I'm to the point where I can work part-time at a job instead of full-time at a job, and then I can take that extra time and turn that into a book? I mean, so part of it's like, is like that. It's like, well, why don't I just replicate my business again and just get 2 businesses, do that enough times and you don't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
And all that time in your mind. So yeah, it's like, what do you do? What? And so yeah, being part of this podcast, it makes me want to do more of the creative thing first, even though my financial, rational, number-loving side of myself is like, well, the most logical thing to do right now would just be work on your business and multiply that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so there's a little bit of fight there.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure.
And it might be that I have to, maybe I alternate, a little bit. And work on business, once every other week. Or, maybe my Wednesday is like a business Wednesday this week, and then a writing one the next week. I need to factor all these things in.
Yep. It's a lot to consider. And there's benefits in taking a stock of your life and like how to and being a third party into your own life and speaking about yourself in the third person. Like Joe is currently working and is paying for an apartment with 2 rooms, and like and then like just kind of go over your entire situation. Wants to become an artist, wants to become a programmer, wants to make games, wants to do these things. Like, what's a good route for him to make money so that he can focus on things that are more mentally stimulating for him? And like kind of ask yourself these in like a third person perspective, because you're going to be more analytical because there's not as many feelings behind it. And so it's important to ask yourself these questions, because realistically you might just be delaying the inevitable. You might just be delaying something.
Very true. Looking at yourself in the third person is very. I love doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But once you've decided on something, you need to check it with your emotion, like
Yeah.
after the fact, and you go, okay, how does this work with who I am emotionally?
Yes.
Because those two butt heads, the emotions are going to win.
Yeah.
It won't be the analytical side.
No. For sure. Wow. That episode really grew.
Yeah.
That's always a good time to know, like, the episode's going to be about 45 minutes longer when we're like, is there anything else you want to say?
Right. Well, thanks for listening, and see you next week.
All right, bye.